back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Gotham Knights video game. But before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell icon if you want to be notified when we post new videos. Also, be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Okay, so let's get into it. So when I was playing the Gotham Knights video game, I play it on PS5 currently. I might get the PC version eventually, but I'm going to wait until it goes on sale. Anyway, the Gotham Knights game is a very entertaining game if you want to play an open world game with the sidekicks of Batman. The ones who are no longer sidekicks. They've now stepped into their own, and they're more their own heroes. And honestly, I enjoy that whole premise. It's something I've always thought about whenever I would read the comic books. My favorite character has always been Nightwing when it comes to Gotham and when it comes to the protectors of Gotham. Granted, I also enjoy Tim Drake in the game. He's very entertaining, but the most playable character is Nightwing out of all of them. He's definitely the character that they focused on creating. Granted, with Batgirl, it's clear that she's the primary focus of the story of the game, because of the fact that she really is supposed to be the one that takes up the mantle. I'm guessing is what they're trying to do with the character. Mind you, I've always felt that Nightwing should be the next one to take up the mantle, and it seems some parts of the story lean in that direction. But it's clear they were all fighting to a degree on who was going to be the leader of this team. Whoever was developing the game, I guess, was kind of creating that question for you to question, I guess, ask yourself who would be the leader of the team. And that does add a little bit more intrigue when you're creating a game. But I digress. When it comes to the entire story of the game, I like the open world nature of the game. 1 second. Coffee. Anyway, whenever you're playing the game, you definitely have to play as each character one by one. Don't just focus on one character. If you want to really become immersed in the game, make sure that you actually play as each character. Now, obviously, each one of us wants to play as our favorite character. And there are moments when I do wish to play as Batman. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Batman, but it would be entertaining if he came back from the dead, which I don't want to reveal too much. But anyway, for those of you who have had the chance to play the game, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, when it comes to playing as each character, Barbara Gordon clearly has a story that's more leaning towards her father and his death, and when it comes to like Nightwing, he's more focused on the group, the family as a whole. And Tim Drake is trying to find his footing as a sidekick without a partner. When it comes to him, it's very intriguing because of the fact that you gotta think about the reality. He is the youngest out of all of them, and all of them have had a long life working alongside of Bruce Wayne. Him, it's hard to tell how. It depends on when he was adopted, essentially, but he has the more interesting story because of the fact that he's now on his own, and he's now living with these essentially kind of like strangers. They're not, because they're never around. They're always either fighting crime or they're on their own, because they're all older and they're now no longer the proteges of Batman. So they're all kind of grieving still. And throughout the game, you notice that they're grieving for their lost, leader. And they're all trying to find their footing. But Tim Drake, most of all. I was kind of shocked, actually, that they went with the Tim Drake Robin because of the fact that he's no longer, no one really talks about him very often. Mind you, there are elements that I don't like about the game because of the fact that it's leaning more towards, I guess, the newer comic books to a degree. I don't like certain elements of the game, but I do wish that they went with a more traditional Tim Drake. I enjoyed his relationship with Stephanie Brown and all of them, and in the comic books. When it comes to that storyline, I preferred that one. But I guess just because that's just how I prefer it. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with his choice, I guess, and how they chose to write the character. That's fine. Other people will enjoy it, I'm sure. It's not really something I care about to a degree. But when it comes to the overall story of the story arc of the game, you have to really immerse yourself in each plot. 1 second. Anyway, sorry, I had to step away for a second. Had to refill the cup of coffee. Anyway, you'll find a lot of interesting characters throughout the world of Gotham Knights if you fully explore it. And there are so many details and lore behind them that you'll need to do. You have to do different objectives and tasks in this throughout the game. If you play as Barbara Gordon, most of the story is going to be focusing on her and her story with her father. If you go to the Gordon Memorial, that's where you pick up her story. Really, that's where it really starts. However, before you really get there, you have to continue and explore in the Belfry. After you come back to here, you'll find a place where the information is, where you have to. That's where most of the information is previously found. You go back to the statue, and this is done automatically, so you don't have to worry about it at all. As soon as you fast travel, you'll be able to get to where you need to go. Everything about this game, honestly, is very quick paced if you really pay attention, but you have to really focus on the game. You have to not think about it as some kind of spin-off of the Arkham games, because it really isn't. When you play this game, go into it as a brand new game, something that's original to a degree. But anyway, after you come back to, once to find information that you previously found on the statue, when this is done, you go up to the second floor of the Belfry by using the stairs, and it'll take you there. But there, you're on the right. Once you get to the computers, once you get there, you'll find some documents that you'll need to actually examine. Just walk up to them and hit the interaction button. This will give you a long cutscene that will then you'll have to go through. Honestly, you cannot skip. After this, you've finished, just jump down, get to the main computer, and you'll need to examine a doll that you'll find right next to it. And after you've examined the doll, you'll need to actually examine the next doll, which is right next to it, by the name of Jim Gordon. This is the same character that you'll be seeing on the statue, allegedly the one that's died, and you need to examine it. And once you've finished examining that doll, you'll need to go back to Harley's book, which is right next to the main back computer as well, just to examine it as well. But now you just have to go back to the statue that you were first headed to, and it's the same picture that is found on the guide. And soon you'll have to open it up to your map and then head to that location by fast traveling to it. And that's everything that you really need to know about getting into the Barbara Gordon storyline in Gotham Knights. Mind you, there's so much more to it. You can't just focus on one part. Like I said, you have to play each character and interchange them. And if you play day by day, like if you play every mission for each character and then go back to the Belfry to restart the day, then you'll be able to continue the story with the next character. Continue the story with the next character, and so on and so on. You keep repeating this process, then you'll be able to really get involved in the game and really be able to be immersed in the storyline of the game. Anyway, I'm probably rambling here and there, but when it comes to this whole game, personally, I like the game. Many people hate it, and that's fine. It's their choice. Personally, I enjoyed it, and I do hope, honestly, it makes room for potential for other games. Personally, I want to see a Superman video game before anything. I don't want to see another game of Batman for a while. I want to see a Superman video game where you play as the Man of Steel himself. One of the things that you could see, I can't really get into it in this video because it's almost finished, but I want to see a Superman video game completed to its fullest. I want to see the ability to play as him, fly through the skies, and really try to fight to protect the people of Metropolis and the world. You need to have a fully immersive open world Superman video game to really be able to enjoy it. Anyway, I mean, there's so much you can do with that, and I'll probably talk about it in another video. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this video, share with your friends, and hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. Oh, and ring the bell icon to be notified when we post new videos. Anyway, goodbye. See you next time.